Madu, and it's your favorite girl, Nnenna Madu. Yes. Today's topic, we are going to be talking about equality for both locals and expatriates in the office place, because Black Lives Matter. Locals are basically me and you working in our home country. Expatriates is a person residing and working in a country that they are not its citizens. You cannot have two people that are equally qualified, and sometimes you even get that these locals are even more qualified. They already have their MBA and possibly their PhD, but you just choose to employ an expatriate that probably has just a BSc. But we know that most of these situations did not actually just start from the employers. It started from the government, the Minister of Labor, the regulation, the employment regulation in Nigeria. Let's look at some key areas where I feel like equality should be regulated. One, equality in key position and employment. You cannot leave the Nigerian job bank and decide to bring in an expatriate, especially when it's a position that a lot of Nigerians are qualified for. Once you're registered in Nigeria, you're already a Nigerian company. Shout out to the NCDMB, who have put in place strict enforcement measures for vendors, for oil and gas contractors, like a foreign country, registered in Nigeria, 80% shares, and then you will do business. It doesn't work that way with NCDMB. A Nigerian has to have a higher share in that company for it to be regarded to as a Nigerian company. Equality in wages and salary. We all know that you find that you will employ an expatriate for your company, and then you give them flight allowance, holiday allowance, housing allowance, you know, great things. Meanwhile, for the locals that are in your company, you do not even get to give them housing. And even if you give them housing, you give them maybe something very ridiculous. Companies need to be regulated. Companies need to be structured. I do not even know why the Minister of Employment of Labor has not put it out there that any company that advertises for a position should be able to put the salary that they are going to pay people. We cannot keep doing this to ourselves. Like, you cannot keep underpaying people, especially what they are not worth. It is not fair. Inequality can affect you if you keep patronizing hiring more expatriates in higher positions than the locals. Inability to diversify. Nigeria, especially employment in Nigeria, you find that one person is doing social media marketing, is doing digital marketing. One person is doing accounting, doing finance, doing admin in a company. But an expatriate most times do not have that ability to do that kind of thing. So you see one person in supply chain, and if the only thing that they know in supply chain is buying. A few things that employers can do to ensure equality or to improve on equality between the locals and the expatriates are they evaluate the job position and the specification. Make sure that you're putting in more locals at a managerial position, even if you need a diversified culture. Like I said before, you need to be able to put these locals and also these expatriates, and make sure that at least the locals have a upper hand and a way to be able to, so that these expatriates can report to them, so that they can be at the key position and give out key decisions. To remove the expatriate gap, the pay gap, make sure that what is good for the geese is good for the gander. Please make sure that whatever it is that you're paying your expatriates, be more open with it and pay the same thing to your locals. Like, whatever it is that is a benefit, if they are benefiting housing, they are benefiting, make sure it's the same thing. And most importantly, the government can really help. The government is not helping us when we have lots and lots of employment, when we have lots and lots of unemployed citizens around and in the country, but people are bringing in, especially international companies are bringing in more and more expatriates from their home country to come and work in a country that we have people that are qualified to do that job. Locals and foreigners are human beings. Everybody deserves an equal opportunity, and even if a local deserves a higher opportunity than an expatriate in one's own country. When you feel the need to make this expatriate to be over your locals, especially in terms of Nigerians, you feel that a white person is much more better than your black people and can show more seriousness for the country, for the company, that is just slavery mentality. And I mean, Black Lives Matter. So I hope that the Nigerian government will also help us, will also help its citizens, especially the Minister of Employment should also help the citizens to know that, create a job bank, let people put their CVs there. Anybody that are looking for a particular skill, we go to that job bank and look for people that have submitted their CV under that category, so that if there's anybody that wants to bring in expatriate for work, you first of all check the job bank before you approve it. I hope that employers and companies and government can see past this and make our lives to matter more. When we start taking ourselves serious, that these people will take us serious when we go to their countries. We have come to the end of today's episode. This is not an attack on expatriates. This is just to make the country to be a better place for its citizens to thrive. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Till next time. Bye bye.